And we are headed down the stretch run of the 2013 ACC baseball season. Welcome to the Wake Forest Baseball Park, Gene Hooks Field, as we get ready for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons and the Miami Hurricanes right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday. Hello, buddy. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with former Major Leaguer Scott Pose. And Scott, as you take a look at this game, it really is do or die time for Wake Forest.
Wake Forest has to win all three of these games to have a chance to get into the ACC tournament. Miami, on the other hand, is sitting in the 8th spot right now, ahead of Duke, who has two tough series coming up against Virginia and NC State. Miami's sitting pretty well if they can play consistent this year, but you're right, it's do or die for Wake Forest. They've got to win all three of these games.
Miami, led by head coach Jim Morris, will be counting on Chance Mack.
Chance Mack is a senior outfielder who's a leader on this team. He's the captain. He leads the team currently in hitting with the .293 average. He's put the ball in play consistently and has done very well for them, but he's got speed to burn too. He's stolen 10 bases, so he's going to need to produce for the Hurricanes, but when he does, they do well.
All right, you set the table for Wake Forest. They need a big game from Pat Blair.
Pat Blair is their senior leader. He leads the team in RBIs, and he also is second on the team with doubles. He's hit .291 both in conference and during the regular season. He's been the model of consistency, and they're going to need him to produce to have a chance this weekend to take 3 from Miami.
All right, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. And first for the Miami Hurricanes, as they will send out leading off, you see right there Palmer in left field. It's Hernandez at second base. Chance Mack, who we talked about, in right field. Brad Feger is at first base. It's Thompson at third base. Thompson leads the team with 3 home runs. Garrett Kennedy at catcher. Alex San Juan, the DH. Brandon Lopez is your shortstop. Ricky Eusebio is your center field. And on the mound, Chris Diaz.
Chris Diaz is going to be a lefty that goes to the mound for the Hurricanes. He's going to feature a sinker and slider, and he can mix up his pitches.
All right, now we'll take here a look at the Wake Forest defense. As you see right there, Chambly in left, Stevens in center, Carey in right. Then across the infield, Ryan, Blair, Canary, and Conway. Your catcher is Armour, and it is Van Grau. Justin Van Grau is your pitcher.
He's the lanky right-hander. He's going to feature a fastball, a curveball, and he'll mix it up a changeup consistently. But what he needs to do is pound the zone against these Hurricanes and do some ground balls, get them to put the ball in play, and let his defense work for him.
Van Grau, as you see right there, 4 and 6. Respectable ERA as Palmer getting ready. The leadoff position has been something Coach Morris has wrestled with all year. Trouble finding the guy, but Palmer's emerged of late. He can bunt, gets on base well, and good speed as well.
Well, it's important for the leadoff hitter to be able to work counts. That is, go deep in the counts, get a pitch count up, but also see a pitcher's arsenal for a particular night, particularly in the first at-bat, because he wants to show it to his teammates. So you want a guy that's going to go deep in the count, be quick, and put the ball in play.
Here's a swing right up the middle, right through the pitcher, and a base hit for Palmer to get things started for the Miami Hurricanes. As we talked about, so important this series for Wake Forest. They virtually almost need to win out if they want to make the ACC tournament in Durham. But a good hit there by Palmer.
Palmer got a pitch up in the zone, and he drove it right back through the middle. There's a lot of base hits that way, because if you can get it by the pitcher, especially on this turf, because the ball will get through quickly, it will bode well for anybody who does so. Palmer does it, and he's rewarded with a base hit, and the Canes have a leadoff hitter on.
Miami knows how to manufacture runs. They've had a lot of one-run wins. Their leading home run hitter only has 3, and that's David Thompson. So Miami known for power in the past, not a lot of power on this team.
With the changes in bats and the larger fields and the way things are going, Miami's kind of shifted gears and have become a team that manufactures runs. They'll show bunt, they'll will bunt, and then they'll steal some bases as well and push 1 or 2 across. And when you have the pitching staff that they do, you only need a couple runs because they've been known to shut some people down.
Van Grau keeping Palmer honest with the throw back over to Conway. Matt Conway, your first baseman for the Demon Deacons. Hernandez, one of the most consistent hitters this year for Miami. There's a strike.
It's a slider that paints the outside corner. That's mainly what Van Grau is going to throw. He'll go fastball, and then slider's his best pitch. The changeup will be mixed in occasionally, but rarely to right-handers. And if he can get some good break and some good tilt, that means the ball breaking down. It's going to be very tough on the Miami hitters.
0-2 pitch to Hernandez, up high.
Armour wanted that pitch up. All he was doing was changing the eye level. Van Grau wanted to throw that fastball up to get the hitter looking up. Hernandez now has seen a fastball up. That sets up the breaking ball down in the zone.
Hernandez, a junior college transfer from Palm Beach State. 1-2. He's going. A hit and run, and that will stop the double play, and Hernandez will advance the runner to second. A good piece of batting right there by your number 2 hitter, Hernandez.
Well, 2 hitter's going to handle the bat well, and Hernandez does here. He's got 2 strikes and he's protecting, but that's the importance of putting the ball in play. For you young kids that are watching, always put the ball in play, force the other team to field the ball. Good things can happen, and for Miami, it moved the runner into scoring position for Chance Mack.
Here's your senior right fielder, Chance Mack, featured by Scott Pose in the open. The emotional leader of this Miami Hurricanes, having a good season, batting .296, and he'll lay one down, and what a great bunt, and that'll stay in play, and it'll hold up on this artificial surface. What a bunt from Chance Mack. Put it in the books as a single.
Well, it's not often you see the 3-hole hitter bunting, but Mack does here because he sees the third baseman's back. He bunts it in the air, but down the line, and the only hope for Ryan was to have this ball go foul. The Wake Forest third baseman wisely does not pick up the ball, but the ball stops in fair territory. It's a base hit, and the Hurricanes have runners at first and third with 1 out for their cleanup hitter.
Other than the pitcher's mound, this is all artificial surface, which obviously holds up well in the rain. Expecting some rain tomorrow. There's a pitch a little low. So Miami threatening here. Runners at first and third, just 1 out. Brad Feger, the first baseman. Junior, started out the year at third base as the third baseman and the first baseman switch positions. David Thompson and Feger.
What Feger's looking for is a pitch inside in the middle of the plate, usually about waist high, middle in. If he sees something else, he's going to take it just like he did on that pitch, because there's a runner at third base. He wants to drive him in. He wants a pitch he can drive to the middle of the field in deep. And the best pitch to do that is a pitch over the heart of the plate. If he gets that, he's going to be taking a big cut because his job is to drive in some runs. That's why he's sitting in the 4-hole.
Feger with 11 RBIs. Count 1-1. Runner going down, and Chance Mack, as you'll see him pointing out that, again, this is artificial surface. Sometimes you'll see, particularly if it's a little bit slick, the visiting teams will run right through second base.
Well, it's been an advantage for the Demon Deacons to play here because a lot of the visiting teams don't know how slick this surface is, even without rain. You saw Chance Mack get a good jump, slide in, but nearly come off the base. So the Demon Deacons are instructed to keep the tag on the runners. They've stolen 6 or 7 outs this year in games just here at this ballpark from that very fact.
Van Grau. Pretty good pitch, a little low.
Now the Demon Deacons are playing their infield defense back, which means if Feger just hits a ground ball, he's going to score a run. Ideally, Coach Morris would like Feger to hit the ground ball to the right side. That would get the run across the plate as well as advance Mack from second to third.
Naples, Florida, local kid, Feger. This should score a run, and it's 1-0 Miami, 6-3, 2 outs. But the Hurricanes with a opening run from their leadoff hitter Palmer, and Miami out to an early lead.
Well, Feger did a good job of situational hitting. With the runner at second and third, you're trying to drive the ball up the middle or hit a ground ball. He hits it to the right of the base runner, and because it is to the right, Matt can advance. The run's going to score easily, and the play is to first. So it's a productive out for the Hurricanes, and they manufacture a run to go ahead 1-0.
2 outs with Mack at third. As David Thompson, we mentioned, he leads this Miami team with 3 home runs and 32 RBIs coming in. Thompson got around on that one. It is deep, back to the wall and gone. The 4th home run for Thompson, and it's 3-0 Miami. Who said Miami wasn't a power hitting team? Thompson looked good in batting practice, and he crushed one there with the wind blowing out to left.
The wind is blowing straight out, but Thompson got a great pitch to drive. We talked about it earlier. A hitter's going to look for their favorite pitch early in the count. He's looking fastball, middle in. He got it and got great extension through the zone. He knew it was gone, or at least had a chance when he hit it, and he watched it. But That ball was hit well, and it puts Miami out front with a crooked number. 3-0 now, 3 runs across in this inning.
Garrett Kennedy now, the left-hander. A lot of first-pitch swings here for Coach Morris's Miami Hurricanes, and that'll end the inning. But 3 runs, including a 2-run homer from their home run leader, David Thompson, as Miami comes in here to Winston-Salem, and they're off to a good start, Scott.
Well, they are. They wanted to jump on and get the crooked number because we're talking about, Coach Walter said the team that usually throws up the crooked number first is the one that does well in the game. So it's going to be a tough road for the Demon Deacons because Miami pitches so well, and they're going to face a tough pitcher tonight.
Let's take a look now at the Wake Forest batting order. Your left fielder, Evan Stevens, leads the team with a .378 batting average. Will lead off. Mark Ryan, third baseman, batting second. Pat Blair, 35 RBIs, leads Wake Forest. He'll bat third, playing shortstop. Matt Conway, the first baseman, with a .345 batting average. Then you'll see Morgan batting fifth. He is your DH. Jack Carey, the right fielder, with 6 home runs on the season to lead Wake Forest. Brett Armour is your catcher, batting seventh. Connor Canary, your second baseman, who leads the team with 3 triples, batting eighth. And it's Grant Chambly, who doesn't start a whole lot of games, but has a nice average, .357, batting ninth. Take a look now at the Miami defense with Palmer in left, Eusebio in center, and Mack, who scored the first run for Miami, is over in right. From third to first, it's Thompson, Lopez, Hernandez, and Feger. Kennedy is your catcher, and then Chris Diaz. They'll throw 3 lefties out here for Miami, and Diaz has been extremely impressive. A great ERA. Check that out, 1.42, one of the best in the nation.
Yeah, he's throwing a sinker, a slider, and a changeup, and he's one of those classic crafty lefties. But think about that, an ERA of 1.4, that's minuscule. You're doing great if you're under 5 in college. Plus, his team just gave him a 3-run cushion. So he's going to be pitching with a lead, and it's going to be a tall order for Wake Forest. Now, that doesn't say they can't do it. There's a reason you play the games, and Coach Walter likes his right-handed laden lineup. He's going to run up there a bevy of right-handers against Chris Diaz, Evan Stevens being an exception. And they're going to have to try to manufacture some runs, just get 1 run at a time because it's very early in this ball game.
All right, Stevens with the first pitch from Diaz. Only allowed 13 runs all season has Diaz. An easy candidate for the most improved player in the entire conference. It's a little low. Tight strike zone by Scott Klein. It's the home plate umpire. Jason Bradley, first base. And there's a strike for Diaz. 4-4 record only because he has not received a whole lot of run support from the Hurricanes. Diaz, another strike.
He comes back to even the count after falling behind 2-0. Stevens is making him work. But now with a 2-2 count, the hitter's going to have to be aggressive and protect. So he's going to expand the zone and swing at anything close.
Stevens fouls it off. Academic All-District, 3.75 GPA in finance at Wake Forest. One of the better defensive outfielders, tracks everything down. As we said, having a big year at the plate, leading Wake Forest with a .378 batting average, 22 RBIs, 41 runs. This one up the middle, but not a whole lot of speed on it. Handled neatly there by Miami. Brandon Lopez, as the Lopez-Hernandez combination in the middle for Miami, very strong.
Yeah, nice job by Stevens to put this ball in play. He hits it up the middle, but then Brandon Lopez, just a freshman, is going to come across and make the play. It's the highlight play for a shortstop when the ball's hit up the middle because all their momentum is coming towards the first base where they're trying to throw, and Lopez makes it look easy.
1 out, and that'll bring to the plate Mark Ryan, playing third base, wearing number 2. Ryan batting .272 on the season. 3 home runs.
It's a good take by Ryan. He was down in the count, but then lays off that fastball that just missed outside, and that gives him a good chance to maybe get one out over the plate here.
1-1, and was over the plate, right to the third baseman. Handled neatly there, though, by David Thompson, and 2 down for Wake Forest.
Well, this is Miami baseball. What they'll do is throw strikes and induce ground balls and let their defense and pitching beat you. And so Diaz does his job. He throws a pitch low in the zone, gets the ground ball, an easy hop to Thompson, who makes the play and the strong throw over to first base.
Pat Blair, just every day, you know he's going to be in the lineup. 87 straight games, been the regular shortstop as he takes a look at a strike since his freshman year. Actually got drafted by the Astros in the 24th round, but decided to come back for his senior year. And he's in most of the top 10 lists for Wake Forest for the record books.
Well, Coach Walter had some high praise for him before the game. He said he's one of the best players to ever roll through Wake Forest. He says, don't look at the stats because the change in bats makes a difference. He said the kid's maybe missed 4 games his whole career, but he's been very consistent and a great leader for this program.
Diaz. Two and one. Blair with a rip. Left center field, and that'll drop for another single for Blair, and that's one of the reasons why he's always in the lineup. Nice rip by Blair.
Well, it was a pitch over the middle of the plate, and he took the bat head right to the ball. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and he takes the barrel right to the ball from his stance and is rewarded with the line drive. Great extension through the zone, kept his head down, saw it all the way, and it's going to be a 2-out single for the Demon Deacons.
And that'll bring up Matt Conway, the first baseman, can also pitch and does pitch on the list for the John Olerud two-way player watch list, which is always impressive, Scott.
Oh, it is, because he plays first base, and he's a very consistent hitter from the middle of the lineup because he can drive those runs in. But then anytime that you can do that and add value from the mound, that's an incredible asset for a coach, because then it saves on arms, it saves on the bullpen, and just proves to be a really reliable player for the Demon Deacons is Kevin Conway.
345, 3 home runs, 34 RBIs. One and one. Conway from Birmingham, Michigan. .6'7".
Matt Conway's pretty imposing force in the batter's box, as you can see just from the center field camera. There's a big strike zone to pitch to, but he can generate some leverage, and it kind of reminds you of a guy like Dave Winfield, the taller player that could generate that leverage and have some sock, and he's shown that this year. Hitting at 345, has the 3 home runs, but the 34 RBI to go with it, and that's what the Demon Deacons are going to need this weekend against the Hurricanes, is drive some runs in. And when you have a runner on, you want to try to hit a gap and take advantage of that.
Speaking of two-way, Winfield played basketball and baseball at Minnesota, part of the Big Ten.
You talk about the height, too. When you have a guy like Matt Conway at first base, it makes it so much easier on your infielders to throw it across the field because he's such a big target, has that reach, and there's not too many errant throws that he can't get to.
Big presence at the plate, big target at first. And when he gets on the mound, it's also imposing when you got that 6'7". He's not a lean 6'7", as you see some of those pitchers like the former Carolina pitcher Miller, who's now with the Red Sox. You know, he's that lean left-hander. This guy's a big man, thick.
Oh, he is, and then he's on top of that mound bearing down on the hitter, and he gets good downward angle on those pitches, too. So it makes it doubly tough to try to size it up and hit.
Thrown back to first base and handled by Feger.
But Jim Morris not afraid to keep the running game at bay, and he will pick at will, and he's shown that here, calling the picks from the bench. And Diaz throwing over quite a bit because with 2 outs, they don't want to afford Wake Forest a chance to get the runner in scoring position, so that's why you're seeing Diaz throw over quite a bit. That was a great hack from Matt Conway because he was right on that pitch, felt straight back. He was looking for a pitch up in the zone, got it, healthy one, but swung right through it.
Diaz has been a workhorse, 82 innings to lead Miami Hurricanes, allowing only a .244 batting average, and the hit and run is on, so they'll need to go to first. Long throw, but a good one, and a great play by Brandon Lopez. Good pick by Tyler Palmer. One hit for Wake, no runs, and after one inning of play, it is Miami 3, Wake Forest 0 right here on the ACC Digital Network.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99? That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
And the Miami Hurricanes, behind a 2-run homer from David Thompson, get 3 in the first, and after one inning, they're on top of Wake Forest by a score of 3-0 here at the Wake Forest Baseball Park. Nothing gives you daily live action and analysis of ACC sports like the ACC Digital Network. Miss your game, want to share that amazing play, or relive that must-see moment? Your team highlights are available online, mobile, and tablet, all on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Visit the ACCDN.com. Alex San Juan wearing number 10, the right-hander, with a good cut, fouled it off. Batting .287 with 1 home run.
Justin Van Grau got ahead of San Juan right away, threw a first pitch breaking ball, came back with it, and San Juan fouls it off. Now he finds himself, does San Juan, down in the count, 0-2. Van Grau does not waste a pitch on 0-2. He blows the fastball right by San Juan for the strikeout in the first out of the inning.
That'll bring up Brandon Lopez. Lopez, the shortstop, made the third out, deep at shortstop. Batting .243. The heat right there from Van Grau. Miami was doing a lot of first pitch swinging in the first inning. Just want to get by the catcher, but no problem. Lopez, heading into his freshman season, was ranked the 12th best freshman by Baseball America. Drafted in the 34th round by the Blue Jays. Grew up right down the road, used to come to the Miami games, so happy to be a Hurricane. And we'll have the second out, though. Pat Blair.
It was another breaking ball from Van Grau, so Lopez rolls over it just a bit and hits a hard ground ball right to Pat Blair, the senior leader for the Deacons, and he makes easy work of that. He can make the routine play, and he does so there.
Ricky Eusebio from Homestead, Florida. His parents are Dominican Republic and Peruvian. Talked to him before the game and asked him how to pronounce his name. He said, you know, it's EU, but it's really Eusebio, which a good kid, loves playing for Miami. Well, a lot of these kids right around Miami, they grow up actually going to the college games, and some of them, when they get drafted, they want that college experience. Talk a little bit about that, Scott.
Well, yeah, they've got a lot of local kids, and there's so much talent in South Florida that they can draw from that. And you have a number of kids down there that'll go to the Canes games just to dream one day to play for them, and there's a few of those kids that have made their way onto their roster. Now, Eusebio fouled that first pitch off his foot, but he's no worse for the wear. And works himself into a 2-1 count now. That's typically a good hitter's count, because the pitcher doesn't want to go to 3-1, so they'll typically throw a fastball.
8 RBIs on the season. Another good cut. He did walk that off, but I'll tell you that, as you know, a former major leaguer, played with several teams, actually the first batter ever for the Florida Marlins. You take one off your foot, Scott, that is.
Oh, it's painful, and it's a ruthless game because the pitcher will throw one down and in right afterwards.
And Eusebio takes a look at strike 3. 3 up and 3 down here in the top of the second for the Miami Hurricanes. It's got 3 in the first inning. It's 3-0 Miami. We'll be back for more from Gene Hooks Field on the campus of Wake Forest.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Miami on top 3-0 here from the Wake Forest Baseball Park. I got a 2-run homer from Thompson in the first inning. The NBA draft is a little more than a month away, so get geared up now by checking out the ACCDN.com to look back at some of the best must-see moments by future NBA stars. Full draft coverage of the ACC and the pros on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Wake Forest bringing up here in the bottom of the second. Their DH, Charlie Morgan, Jack Carey, their right fielder, and Brett Armour. Charlie Morgan, the DH, left-handed hitter for Wake Forest.
Got lefty-on-lefty matchup here. The ball's going to break towards the barrel of the bat, but Diaz is going to throw a lot of strikes. Now, knowing that, it's an advantage to the hitter because you can come up and be aggressive early, and we've seen that so far from Wake Forest.
Morgan, a tough kid, one of the toughest kids on the team, along with Connor Canary, the second baseman. Actually had shoulder surgery in the offseason, did not play in the fall, but is ahead of schedule and coming around. 2 home runs, batting .250, 17 RBIs.
Well, he's worked himself into a hitter's count here. 2 balls and no strikes, and you're going to look 1 pitch, 1 spot if you're a hitter if you're up in the count. Normally for a lefty, that's down and in.
Morgan can also catch. Ooh, that ball was high, and he went up with it and gave it a rip, but a foul ball.
Well, you saw the aggressive cut from Morgan. He's got a couple of home runs. In fact, Wake Forest's pop is from this part of the lineup. As Jack Carey's on deck, he's got 6 home runs, and Brett Armour's got 3 himself. So between these guys, it's 11 of the Deacons' home runs.
Morgan works the count, 3-1.
Another hitter's count, same thing. You're looking 1 pitch, 1 spot, typically a fastball. If it's not in your zone, take it because you can hit again with the full count. But a guy with some pop likes to swing the bat. If it's a pitch anywhere near and it's a fastball, he's going to take a hefty cut.
Diaz took a little bit off that last pitch, and it was low, 87 miles per hour, the one before 89. And a nice at-bat for the DH, Charlie Morgan, getting on base as Wake Forest tries to manufacture runs. They gave up 3 in the top of the first, and first man on.
Well, put that in perspective. That's just the 16th walk all year for Chris Diaz. He's always around the plate. He's got a strikeout to walk ratio of nearly 4-1. Pitchers are happy if it's 2-1.
All right, speaking of having some good rips, Jack Carey with the wind blowing out to left field. He's got 6 home runs on the season and 32 RBIs, which is 3rd for Wake Forest. If he finds one, he'll try to get 2 back right here.
Yeah, he will. And with that hole at first base, you saw Jack Carey try to take advantage and hit the ball through the right side.
Inside is Diaz. He can see Carey trying to get his arms up over the plate, and Diaz cuts it inside on him, 1-1.
Well, he's trying to keep him honest because he knows exactly what Carey's trying to do. So Diaz is countering that, trying to pitch him in to induce him to pull the baseball. Diaz wants him to hit one in double play alley, which is right at the shortstop.
Carey with a big walk-off hit and a win against UNC. This could be a double play ball, and it is. So that'll eliminate that.
Well, it's a pitcher's best friend, and you see what happens here is that Diaz throws a good pitch down, Carey rolls over it, and now Thompson, who's a good athlete, he's a quarterback on the football team too, ranges well to his left and starts to double play. And Miami can play some defense now. You hit the ball on the ground, they can throw it around the field. So it's Thompson to Hernandez to Feger for the double play, but they made it look effortless.
So here's the junior college transfer, the catcher Brett Armour, and he rips this one deep and off the wall. He should get 2 on this one. He's running. We could have a play at second to slide, and a double off the wall from Brett Armour, the catcher for Wake Forest. So after the double play, Wake Forest now with a runner in scoring position.
That double play was key because imagine if there were runners on. Now you couldn't hit a ball any further in the park and keep it in the park because this hits off the top of the wall. A great cut by Armour. He hits the ball on a line and it hits off the very top of the wall, and because he hit it so hard, he had to really work to get to second base.
Yeah, it was out there in just a split second, so it wasn't an easy double by any standards, but nonetheless, Armour now standing on second is Connor Canary, the second baseman.
Kennedy's going out to talk to Diaz to get straight on the signs because signs change with a runner at second base. The pitcher and catcher like to change the signals to prevent the base runner from relaying the pitches to the hitter at the plate.
There's a strike. Canary 235, 19 RBIs, no home runs. They're lefty versus lefty.
And Diaz has a good breaking ball, and that was one there. Canary swings right through it, but what makes a breaking ball good not only is the break across, but it's downward action. And if a ball breaks down, it doesn't hang in the strike zone a very long time, and you've got a small chance to make contact with it. That's why you hear pitching coaches talk about depth on breaking balls a lot.
Kennedy hoping to get Canary to chase one, really positioned on the outside of the plate, but knowing Diaz might waste one. Good eye, 1-2. Bottom of the second, Miami on top 3-0. Thompson with a 2-run dinger. Tight play at second, in the dirt. Scooped up there nicely by the first baseman, Feger. Hernandez, and that combination with Lopez, very good defensively. After 2 here from Winston-Salem, it's Miami 3, Wake Forest 0.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Miami coming to bat here in the top of the third with a 3-0 lead. All 3 runs coming in the first inning. They're on top of Wake Forest. A reminder that the ACC Digital Network is fully interactive, and you can follow us on Twitter at the ACCDN. Dean Linke, along with former major leaguer Scott Poles, played collegiately at Arkansas. And Palmer will lead it off here, the leadoff hitter for Miami in the third.
Well, he got things started for Miami in the first inning with a single up the middle.
Van Grau on the mound, thrown 9 balls, 18 strikes, 27 pitches. Another hit by Palmer, just past the outstretched arms of the third baseman, and Palmer, just like he did in the first, gets it started here for the Hurricanes.
Well, he went with a breaking ball and hit it down and pounds it through the 5.5 hole. That is the hole between short and third base. Tony Gwynn patented that because on your scorecard, the third baseman is the 5 and the shortstop's the 6. And Tony Gwynn, the Hall of Fame hitter from the Padres, loved to hit it at the 5.5 spot between them both. Palmer does just that. And another leadoff single for Palmer and the Hurricanes.
Hernandez now coming off a 2-for-4 performance in their last game against St. John's, a 6-4 win for Miami as they won that series.
And Hernandez is a junior college transfer. And Dean, you were talking about how they like to get local kids. Well, he went to the local junior colleges down there, which are very strong, and then comes in as a junior with a lot of experience, played in a lot of games as a freshman and sophomore. And you can see how he anchors the middle of the field for the Hurricanes.
Van Grau keeping that out. Hernandez looked like he was thinking about bunting.
He showed the bunt for a base hit. And then when a hitter does that, it forces the Deacons to adjust their defense and really be on their toes. It puts pressure on them.
Runners going. Play at second. Nobody home, though. Nobody covering second base. A little bit of miscommunication right there.
Well, there was miscommunication because nobody did go to second base. Now, the catcher Armour is instructed, get rid of the ball as quickly as you can and throw it to the base so the fielder can make a play. But nobody gets there. It looks like he was thrown to the shortstop side. Nobody was there. It was miscommunication between the middle infield, between Blair and Canary. Before each pitch, they'll look at each other and give each other a signal on who has it, but they couldn't get together on that pitch.
So no outs, and Palmer's at second, and a good rip here. Laced by Hernandez, but handled easily by the left fielder, Grant Chambly, who gets a rare start for Wake Forest, and that brings up Chance Mack.
Well, Miami didn't take advantage of the situation with the runner at second and less than 2 out, especially with nobody out. You want the hitter to try to hit a ground ball or fly ball to the right side to move the runner over. Hernandez instead pulls it, hits a line drive, and it keeps the runner, Palmer, at second base.
Mack with a hit in the first inning. Also scored a run. Palmer with the first run, and Mack came home with David Thompson's 2-run home run in the first inning. Blasted over the left field fence, really no doubt. Even had the little strut when you know it's gone. With that hit, Mack right at that 300 mark, and you start getting around that mark, as you know, a longtime major leaguer. I mean, that is an important mark for a baseball player.
Yeah, 300 looks so much better than 299. It just does, and it looks good on paper, but it's a hard mark to reach, no matter what level you're playing at, primarily in an elite Division I program and a great conference, the ACC, one of the premier baseball conferences in the country.
Finished 289 last year. Mack driven up the middle. Palmer will be going, and Palmer could have the 4th run. We're going to have a play at the plate, and they'll let it go through. Thought the pitcher might cut it off. He let it go through, but Palmer underneath, great speed, and Miami now on top 4-0.
Money lies and RBIs, as Ron Jackson, one of my old hitting coaches, used to say, and this is an RBI, and he also used to say the RBIs are in the middle of the field. Chance Mack drives this ball right through the middle. Palmer sees that it's through and is off on contact. Close play at the plate, and you saw how far a player can slide on this turf as Palmer slid through home plate to plate Miami's 4th run.
Here comes Brad Feger now. And Feger with the RBI in the first inning to bring in Palmer.
What's interesting about the turf here at Gene Hooks Field is the only dirt is on the mound. Even the spots that are painted other than green, and we'll call it gold, Wake Forest gold, that's turf, and that goes all the way to the base. Even the batter's boxes are turf, so players are digging into that. Now, they can wear spikes. It's not like the old turf that we used to play on the old days where you would have to wear turf shoes because your spikes wouldn't dig in. This digs in and plays just like grass. It won't give you burns when you slide like the old stuff did either.
Yeah, it's quality. Quality surface. And with rain expected tomorrow, it could play an important role.
Well, it shows the renovations that they've done here on the campus, and this is a beautiful field, one of the better fields in the ACC, and what an advantage it is to have at a school because weather is no longer an issue. It is on a rare occasion, but it drains well. Plus, you can practice on it. You won't lose days for that, and it can really benefit the program. It's a credit to Wake Forest University, and what an advantage to have a facility like this.
1-1 to Feger. 37 pitches now for Van Grau. Feger up the middle again, and Van Grau is just a target out there right now. Miami driving lasers up the middle, and Mack and Feger now first and second.
Base hit up the middle, and if you can get it by the pitcher, it's going to get through. We've seen Miami take advantage a number of times already in this ball game, but Van Grau wasn't in a fielding position. You wouldn't expect him to be, but he's getting rid of that ball, and then he's about 50 feet from home plate when they're making contact. I'd be getting out of the way, and that ball goes through the middle in a hurry, and now the Canes have runners at first and second and one out.
Thompson. And this will score at least one run. Mack, it could be 2 runs. Let's see what the third base coach does. They'll hold him up, and a stand-up double there from Thompson, who's having himself a game.
Well, he got a ball up in the zone, and he drives it on a line in the gap. And this is what happens to a ball when it's hit in the gap on turf. It gets through because he had a great cut, got on top of the pitch, meaning he got his hands on top of the ball, which induces the line drive. And this ball shoots to the wall. Credit Stevens for getting over there and knowing how to play the angle, but it's not before it's a double, and runners are now at second and third, and that's going to prompt a visit from the Wake Forest bench to talk to Justin Van Grau to see how he's feeling, but also possibly give the Wake Forest bullpen a chance to get loose.
So now Miami with a 5-0 lead here on Wake Forest. Miami comes in with a 32-18 record, 11-13 in the ACC, and hoping to secure that one of those top 8 spots, which is critical for the ACC tournament.
Well, it's going to be, and as loaded as the ACC is this year and one of the premier conferences in the country, getting in that tournament is going to help you for the NCAA tournament just because the teams are so strong. Every game you get against one of the top seeds, it helps your RPI. And we know, just like in basketball, the RPI is huge come NCAA selection time.
Here's Garrett Kennedy.
And also to state the obvious, it's important to get in the tournament because very rarely do teams not get in the tournament and get invited to the NCAA tournament. So the first step is that conference tournament, and we're down to the end of the season, and both these teams are fighting for their playoff lives in a sense. Miami in a better position than Wake Forest, but Wake Forest can't afford to lose a game. And that's a tall order against a tough pitching staff that Miami has. Now there's a game within a game going on here. Wake Forest hasn't brought their infield in. So that means that all Kennedy has to do is hit a ground ball to the right side or up the middle, anywhere other than third base, and he's got an RBI and he's getting a run over. Justin Van Grau knows that, so he's trying to work in so Kennedy can't get extended.
2-2 now on Kennedy.
It's another breaking ball, which forces Kennedy to stay back, and he's got to try to hit the inside half, but there's some good pitches from Van Grau, and he's doing a good job to battle to prevent any more runs from scoring.
Wake Forest 26-23 on the season, but 7-17 in the ACC. Coach Tom Walter played baseball at Georgetown, talked about the fact that he really thinks they're going to need to sweep Miami, and now they've got themselves in a hole here at home.
I'm a little surprised to see Wake Forest playing back, and the reason why is this. You're already down 5 runs, which means you can ill afford to allow any more to score in a big series, but Coach Walter's going to elect to keep the infield back and concede some more. He's got some confidence in his offense this early in the ballgame.
Kennedy, 1 home run on the season.
That's great pitching. You need a strikeout, and the best place to get it is a fastball up out of the zone. Van Grau, after showing a steady diet of curveballs down, comes back with a fastball up, gets Kennedy to swing through it. And as a hitter, it's tough to lay off of because that ball's close to your eyes. It looks like you can make contact. Sometimes it looks like a softball coming in there. But you got to be very quick to catch up to it.
Here's San Juan with 2 outs on Miami. Runners at second and third as they'd like to add to that 5-0 lead.
Now with 2 outs, you'll see the third baseman, Ryan. He's back. Wake Forest wants to give their infielders range. And the further they can play back, all they have to do is make the play at first base, and you prevent the ball from going to the outfield. So instead of playing halfway like they were with 1 out, they move all the infielders back to give themselves range and give themselves the best chance to prevent another run from scoring.
San Juan. Who can also catch. Of course, they're both replacing Peter O'Brien, who was first team All ACC a year ago, talking about San Juan and Kennedy. 1-1. Nothing Miami. 2 outs here, top of the third. Runners at second and third. Miami looking for more. Down to third base. And handled no problem by Wake Forest. As 2 more runs for the visitors from Miami. And they lead Wake Forest by a score of 5-0 from the Wake Forest Baseball Park.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app, live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
After 2.5 innings, Miami on 7 hits has 5 runs, 3 RBIs from David Thompson, and they lead the home team here, Wake Forest, by a score of 5-0. A critical matchup for Wake Forest. Only the top 8 make the ACC tournament at the great Durham Bulls Park. You take a look at it. You said it so much. It's got so much talent in the ACC.
Well, you got Florida State leading the Atlantic Division, NC State having a great year, and perennial power Clemson there as well. You got to figure that those 3 are in. And then if you go over to the any other division, the Coastal Division, North Carolina leads. They're great. Virginia, some think, are the best team in the conference just because they have some solid pitching. Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech with an outside shot. Miami's looking pretty good too because this division has the balance of the power. So Wake is really trying to get into that tournament and make their case, and they have to, because if they don't, it's going to be slim pickings, or they're going to need some significant help. And a sweep here is really the only way Wake Forest has a chance to get in the tournament. It's possible, but it's a tall order.
All right, that'll bring up Grant Chambly from Cary, North Carolina. 6'1", 180-pounder. Chambly with the rip, foul ball, 1-1.
Diaz can be very frustrating, especially when you're just trying to get one run at a time, because he's not going to overpower you. You see the ball well, but it's hard to make solid contact. He mixes up his pitches well, and you notice that he rarely throws anything over the middle of the plate. He's always picking at the zone, trying to expand it, and it can be very frustrating for a hitter. So you have to be very disciplined at the plate when you're facing a Chris Diaz.
Nice hit by Chambly the other way, batting .357 coming in, and another hit for number 43. As Chambly gets things started here in the bottom of the third for Wake.
That's great discipline, a great approach, because this is a fastball away, a good pitcher's pitch, but he drops the bat head on it and drives it to right field. If he tries to pull that ball, it's just a ground ball to shortstop. But the line drive to right field goes as a base hit, and it starts Wake Forest off with the leadoff hitter aboard.
Now Evan Stevens. Stevens 0 for 1.
With a runner at first base and a lefty at the plate, Evan Stevens was trying to drag that bunt with him or pull it. The reason why is this. Chris Diaz is a left-handed pitcher. He's going to fall off towards third base. The first baseman, Feger, is holding the runner on, which leaves a hole between first and second, and that's precisely where Stevens is trying to hit it. The ball fouled off, and now the Miami dugout saying the ball hit him when he was out of the box. If that's the case, Stevens is out. But home plate umpire Scott Klein says no, the ball hit him in the box. Stevens is going to bunt for the base hit. The ball goes straight down and comes up and hits his hand. That's a foul ball. He's not out of the box. And anytime it hits the bat twice anyway, it's automatically a foul ball. So it's the right call and a good job by Scott Klein, who was all over it.
And a good call by Scott Pose as well. He indeed was in the box. This one up the middle and could be an easy double play, handled calmly by one of the best combinations in the middle right there, but number 51 taking it all by himself.
Well, that's going to be this double play unassisted for the second inning in a row. Wake Forest gets their leadoff hitter on, and then the next hitter hits a ground ball, and Miami turns in double play. But Lopez, a freshman stepping in to a Division I program, a storied one like Miami and playing every day, that speaks a lot about his ability, a lot about his potential and what they think, because Jim Morris, one of the best baseball coaches in the country, you just have to look at his record, one of the winningest. He's been to Omaha more times than, heck, I think Omaha's hosted the dang tournament, for crying out loud. But Jim Morris has done extremely well, and he's got a solid shortstop, a freshman, granted a young kid, but he's going to have 3 years with Lopez at shortstop. That speaks volumes about his talent.
Good eye from Ryan. And for the second inning in a row, Wake Forest gets the opening runner on, but then, as Scott Pose said, doubled up. So 2 outs here for Wake Forest. And they're going to say he went around.
Mark Ryan went. First base umpire Jason Bradley says so, and goes as a strikeout.
All right, we will be back for the start of the 4th inning. The visitors from Miami on top of Wake 5-0 right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Here on the campus of Wake Forest, they're trailing Miami by a score of 5-0 through 3. A big Early afternoon already for David Thompson. The Miami Hurricanes, of course, led by Jim Morris, the only coach in NCAA doubleheader history to take a school to the College World Series in each of his first 6 years. You see him right there. He's from Greensboro, played at Elon, actually played 200 games on this field as a member of the Winston-Salem Red Sox. So he loves coming back here to Winston-Salem.
Well, what a job he's done in college baseball. He's been the National Coach of the Year in '94, '99, and 2001. He's won over 1,500 games over his career. So no doubt Jim Morris knows what he's doing. And then he came over and took over the storied Miami program started by Ron Frazier and kept up the tradition. And think about this. Miami has been to the NCAA tournament 40 straight years.
There's Lopez. Easy play there for Connor Canary. 40 straight years. Talk about a model of consistency as Lopez makes the first out for Miami.
Well, it's a good pitch from Van Grau as he throws a fastball away and induces the ground ball. Well pitched. Ball was put in play, and a nice play by the Demon Deacons.
Morris started this season as the 5th winningest active coach in NCAA Division I baseball as Eusebio batting .231. 1 out for Miami. They have a 5-0 lead thanks to 3 RBIs from David Thompson, including a big home run in the first. Eusebio rips it foul over near Coach Morris.
Eusebio got a breaking ball inside. It hung up in the zone just a bit. He got the bat head out, not able to keep it fair, but squared it up pretty well.
Scott, you appreciate this because you know the ties for baseball, but Jim Morris telling me that his coach for the Winston-Salem Red Sox and his coach at Elon both come to these games when he's in town just to connect with Jim Morris. It's that connection that never goes away.
Well, that's right. You meet some of the best people that you will ever know in baseball as Van Grau throws a firm fastball, or excuse me, it was a slider on the lower part of the zone and gets a strike call, and he's bounded back nicely. But yeah, it's a thrill for Jim Morris to come back as he's had ties in the area. He gets a chance to play here in the ACC. For the longest time, Miami wasn't in a conference. Then they went to the Metro Conference, which I don't think exists anymore. And then became members of, as everybody knows, the ACC a little while back. But they've stepped right into the conference and have been that perennial power, and it gives Jim Morris the opportunity to come back up to his old stomping ground.
Palmer 2 for 2 with 2 runs for Miami. Exactly what you want from your leadoff hitter. He got under this one. I believe it's going to be too far to run, though.
The ball was hitting no man's land. A lot of space here at Gene Hooks Field. A lot of foul ground, so a lot of ground for the fielders to cover. Chambly, Blair, and Ryan were trying to get down there, but it was hit too far into the left field corner and too far to range, but a great hustle by all 3.
Palmer singled to center field in the first, singled to left field in the third. Great eye at the plate, does not strike out a lot.
That's what you want from your leadoff hitter. Somebody's going to hit the top of the order, is going to put the ball in play, especially if they can run. If you force the other team to field the ball and they have the added pressure of somebody that can run quickly to first base, it's advantageous to be at the top of the order with those skills.
And Palmer flies to the center fielder, and it's handled by Evan Stevens. 3 up and 3 down for Miami, and after 3.5, it's the Hurricanes 5, Wake Forest 0 right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices. And each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99? That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Chris Diaz does not allow a whole lot of runs, has given up only 3 hits, and Miami is on top of Wake Forest by a score of 5-0 here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday. And we'll have more here. A heads up that tomorrow at 4 p.m. we've got Game 2 of this series between Miami and Wake Forest right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday. We'll be here all evening and see you tomorrow at 4. Hopefully it's shine and no rain. Game 2, they are talking about some weather here on Saturday. And in fact, the ACC Digital Network working overtime. If we can't get that game on Saturday, we may join you on Sunday, Scott.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some baseball. And I think with the field the way that it is, I'm not sure we're going to have any issues. But we're going to get some baseball in this weekend. It's going to be exciting. It's just a thrill to be here.
Pat Blair single to center field in the first inning. He's now batting .295 with 3 home runs. Diaz, 27 strikes against 17 balls. Last one at 87 miles per hour. Took a little bit off there. Pretty good changeup.
Yeah, he threw the breaking ball down there. And if you're Wake Forest, you got to be very methodical and take advantage of anything that Diaz gives you. Try to take the ball the other way. Hit the ball on a line or on the ground.
1-1, and Blair looks at the second strike, and this is where Diaz can paint the corner on you.
We got Blair looking out over the plate and then came with the fastball in. But it's important for Wake Forest to try to hit the inside half of the baseball. That's the part of the baseball that's closest to the hitter, because if you take your barrel to the outside, it's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be a ground ball to short or to third base. But if you can stay inside it, that's going to induce a line drive and some base hits to the middle of the field.
Diaz came into this game with 57 strikeouts against only 13 walks and 13 earned runs in 12 appearances. Hard to ask for much more from your Friday night pitcher here in the ACC. Blair with the count at 2-2 inside. Full count.
Diaz tried to speed Blair up, throwing the fastball in on the plate underneath his hands, but Blair works back to the full count now. He's going to look for a fastball down.
Good at bat by the veteran shortstop.
Second walk, and for the 3rd inning in a row, Wake Forest has the leadoff hitter aboard. What they want to prevent is what happened in the first 2 innings. The next hitter hit into a double play. You got Matt Conway stepping to the plate, one of the leading hitters on Wake Forest team, and a guy that can drive in some runs. He's hitting 345 currently. He grounded out to short his first at bat.
3 home runs, 34 RBIs for Matt Conway. Left-handed pitcher, first baseman, right-handed hitter. Massive strike zone. Got under it, could be another double play. They can turn it in Miami, and they do. And once again, Wake Forest for the 3rd consecutive inning gets their leadoff hitter on, only to see him doubled up, Scott.
And that was an impressive double play just for this reason. The ball hung up in the air a long time before it got to Thompson, because Conway hit it straight into the ground. That high hop had to come down, but then Thompson gets the first out, and then credit Hernandez with a quick turn to get it to Feger before Conway can get down to first. Miami has turned 3 double plays already in this ball game.
So Thompson with a home run and a double, saying I can also play a little defense, as he is a front runner for player of the game for sure here, Scott, having himself a wonderful afternoon here.
Well, he's off to a good start, got a couple big hits, and then he's played some solid defense as well.
Charlie Morgan, he walked in the 2nd inning. Diaz climbing to 89 miles per hour. Let that one go. Now 1-2. And strike three for Diaz. Came in with a 1.42 earned run average, and it's getting better for Miami. They are on top of Wake Forest by a score of 5-0, and you're watching the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Welcome back to Wake Forest Baseball Park, where it is Miami 5 and Wake Forest 0. We're pleased to be joined by the great head coach of Wake Forest, Tom Walter. And Tom, you're getting that first runner on there, but you're getting doubled off. Got to get some runs here going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 innings in a row, we got the leadoff hitter on, and, obviously he's made some good pitches. We need to do a better job.
Hey, Coach, what adjustments would you tell for your players to make when you're facing a pitcher like Diaz and you're trying to get back in this ball game and push some runs across?
Well, he locates really well. He's the kind of guy you got to sit on location. You can't sit there and sit on a pitch, but you got to sit on a zone. And if you do that, you should have some good success against this guy.
Big weekend for you. Talking about some rain tomorrow, but how critical is it to get 2 or 3 wins here this weekend?
Well, we have to have them, no question. It's a huge weekend for the program. So our guys are ready.
All right, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for being with us here.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff from Coach Tom Walter, who really, you can't ask for a better man. Everybody knows the story. Donated his kidney to his player Kevin Jordan, and the story is just one of those that you're just touched by it. Every time you see him, you think of that.
No, it's tremendous. I mean, I think it's one of the better stories in sports, much less college baseball. But for a coach to do that for a player, I mean, there couldn't be a more selfless gift, and it's just a credit to his character and the type of program that he runs and the example that he sets for the young men that he coaches.
Kevin Jordan, who's a great baseball player, still working his way back from that, as you can imagine, has needed a kidney, and when the coach found out it was a perfect match, he found out in like late January, 7 days later, his kidney becomes Kevin Jordan's kidney, and wow, I mean, every time you see Coach Walter, you're touched by the man. Bobbled by Ryan, but handled. Sent over to Conway, and 1 down.
That's why they call third base the hot corner, because balls come off the bat fairly lively, and you've got to have quick reactions. But Ryan makes the play, knocks it down. That's the most important thing, but keeps it in front. Quick reaction time on the hot shot. Ryan knocked it down and then was able to gather himself and throw it across to first base. A fine play by the Wake Forest third baseman.
Here's Mack with 2 singles already, looking for more. This one ripped to right field off the fence, going for 2. Thought about it. Now he's heading back to first. They could have a play on him, and he is, oh boy, it looked like he was out at first. The umpire did not have the best look. Mack with the slide in there. We're going to have to take another look at that one, Scott.
That was a pretty close play. Mack got extension, drove the ball to right field. It's going to go as a wall ball single, because he rounded the ball, the base aggressively, and Mack was thinking too, but credit Carey, the right fielder, for hitting the cutoff man, or his second baseman, Canary. Canary threw a ball back to Conway, and from this angle, it looks like the tag was down in time.
No, he didn't get over there.
It didn't. Great replay and a great call by the umpire.
Indeed it was. Good stuff here from our crew, Kelly Hedelson and the entire gang from the ACC Digital Network. He was safe.
The ball was there in time, but the tag didn't get down in time. So the ball beat him, but credit first base umpire Jason Bradley for being all over it. Well done.
Figures single to center field his last time up in the third, and Mack lucky to be on first base.
Wake Forest playing great defense on that play and executing it very well. Shows the importance of the outfielder hitting the cutoff man.
Carry to Canary. Tag just a little late from Conway, and Mack is on with 3 singles. This one driven deep by Feger, and that one will also go off the wall. Mack all the way to third already. And 2 balls off the wall, playing wall ball here for Miami. Runners now at first and third.
Well, I'm not sure why Feger stayed
not
at first
either.
base, but it's going to go as a long single. Maybe he wasn't sure whether Mack was going to get to third, but he hit it, and I don't think he was running right out of the box. That's going to keep him at first base, and may get a conference from Coach Morris after the game about how you shouldn't watch the ball. What's interesting about the field here is it has some nooks and crannies, and where he hit that ball, if he hits it straight to left, it's gone. But the wall juts out into left center field, and it hit to the deeper part, hits off the wall, and it's just going to go as a long single.
Thompson with the 2-run homer and the double, but a double play here, and what a big double play for Wake Forest. A momentum killer right there, and a key double play to keep this score at 5-0.
It was a nice play by Ryan to get that started. It looked for a second like he may have held onto the ball too long, but then Canary made the quick turn, and they got it to Conway just in time. But it's a 1-hopper, 2-hopper, and then Ryan gets it started with the flip to Canary, who made the quick throw. Very close play at first base. Umpire says he's out, so he is. And good defense by Wake Forest in that inning.
Dean Linke along with Scott Pose, who now we welcome in the coach of Miami, the legendary coach Jim Morris. And coach, really good performance early on here for Miami.
Well, you're right. I mean, we've got some big hits. Of course, David Thompson's 2-run homer was big, and pitcher's best friend, 3 double plays. So we played pretty well so far.
Well, what have you seen from Chris Diaz so far, Coach? What do you think of his pitches?
Well, Chris is a guy that's got a natural sinker, you know, and he's throwing his breaking stuff over. He's keeping the ball down and changing speed, so he's doing a good job. He's tough to run on the bases, too.
Coach, we started tonight putting the highlight on Chance Mack, and he's delivered with 3 ropes.
He has, and he hit that ball really hard the last one. I was just telling him to get up, and you'd be out if he could get it up.
It's got to be fun for you to be home here as well. You mentioned you played 200 games right here on this field with the Winston-Salem Red Sox. You always love coming home, don't you?
Sure. I mean, I'm from Greensboro, and it's about 30, 40 minutes from here, so close by. And I got to see my pro manager who came out today. Normally get to see my college coach and my high school coach.
All right, good stuff, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Good luck for the weekend.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, Jim Morris, the fine head coach for Miami. As you mentioned, replacing talk about another legend, Ron Frazier. They wear the number 1 now, who just passed away on their jersey, Scott.
Well, yeah, it's just a great tribute to Ron Frazier, who started the program and for the longest time just took a salary of $1 because he did it for the love of it and built Miami into the power that it is.
Carey grounded into a double play, and Diaz 87 miles per hour here. So we're in the bottom of the 5th. Miami 5-0 lead on Wake Forest. Wake Forest comes in with a 26-23 record. 15-11 right here, though, at Gene Hooks Field. Sent to the second baseman, Alex Hernandez, and 1 out. Carey now 0 for 2.
Well, we heard Coach Morris talk about Chris Diaz's natural sink on the ball, and when you have natural sink, you'll get some ground balls. Look no further than tonight. He's been able to induce the ground ball for the double plays and gets another one here, and Hernandez makes the play.
Brett Armour with a big rip in the second inning, doubled to left field, only to be stranded, and this one will go right back to the pitcher, Diaz, and Diaz sends it easily over to Feger, and 2 outs now for Wake Forest.
Well, it's another pitch, just 1 pitch and 1 out in this case, or this at bat, and a pitcher will take that exchange. Good downward action on that fastball. Armour can just muster the ground ball right back to Diaz, who was in a good fielding position. He makes the play, and it's 2 quick outs in the inning.
That'll bring up Connor Canary. Grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning, batting .234 now after that first at bat. Dipped just a little bit. 19 RBIs, no home runs. 1-1 pitch to Canary.
Seen a number of those tonight. You've already seen a couple of dual foul balls, one that hit off the plate and comes back and hits the hitter. This one does the same. Just that downward action. Pitch is breaking down. It's a curveball. And then it's right down and off the left thigh of Connor Canary.
Diaz got Canary to swing at a ball, and that's what you want to do with 2 strikes. So after 5, it's Miami 5 and Wake Forest 0. You're watching ACC Baseball right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices. And each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99? That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Winston-Salem, of course, the birthplace of Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm getting fat just looking at it right here. Boy, those are the best donuts around. And Winston-Salem proud of Krispy Kreme, and they're also proud of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. But they trail right now, Miami, by a score of 5-0 as we start the 6th inning here from the wonderful Gene Hooks Field in the Wake Forest Baseball Park.
All those donuts are fat-free, calorie-free, are they not?
Yeah, you just look at them and it goes to your backside. Garrett Kennedy flew out to center field in the first and a strikeout in the third. 0 for 2, 261 batting average now. Kennedy, the left-handed catcher. As Van Grau paints the corner, his pitch count now at 69 here as we start the 6th inning. 3 runs in the first, 2 in the third for Miami. That's your score line. Some big afternoons by David Thompson, his 4th career 3 RBI game, and then the 3rd 3-hit game of the season for Chance Mack. That one looked good, but 2-1, 3-1 now.
Pitch was down just a bit, at least for the liking of Scott Klein. Kennedy takes it and finds himself now in a hitter's count.
And on that hitter's count, we'll send it out to center field where it's handled smoothly by Evan Stevens.
Well, 3-1 count, you're looking fastball, and Kennedy got it, but hits it on a line. Stevens played it perfectly, and it's right there to make the play.
That'll bring Alex San Juan, struck out in the second, grounded out in the third. 283 now. First pitch swing by San Juan.
Pitch up in the zone, up in his eyes. He liked it. And righties typically handle the ball up in the zone well. San Juan fouled it straight back. Justin Van Grau has thrown well since giving up those runs in the 3rd inning, and he's throwing that fastball and getting ahead here.
Inside, San Juan was not against taking a hit by pitch there.
No, it was a breaking ball that was in, but just misses San Juan, but got him to spin back, and he took it correctly because he turned towards the umpire and not expose any vital parts to getting hit by the ball. You take the brunt of that with your back. It's a good lesson for young players that are watching. But Van Grau now has an even count at 1-1. Looks like he's going to go down in the zone. It's a breaking ball down, another one. It's tough for San Juan to square that up, so now Van Grau's ahead in the count, and that affords Van Grau an ability to expand the zone and nibble a little bit because San Juan's going to be hyper-aggressive with 2 strikes.
1-2. Van Grau keeps it low right at the knees. Just a little too low, 2-2. Miami swept their weekend series against St. John's at home. They've got some impressive wins in their conference schedule as well. And San Juan sent over to Canary, and 2 outs now for Miami with a 5-0 lead with Lopez coming up.
Well, it was a pitch away in the zone and down. It was a breaking ball. Good pitch by Van Grau. It was the ground ball right to Canary, and he makes the routine play. Brings up the freshman, Brandon Lopez.
Grounded out to the shortstop in the second. Second baseman in the fourth, 0 for 2 for Lopez, who's played a nice shortstop. Shortstop second base combo between Lopez and Hernandez has looked good. Pop fly down the first base line, still in play, and 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 6th for Miami. Wake Forest needs some runs, and they need a win, as you heard Coach Walters say earlier. It's Miami 5, Wake Forest 0, right here on the ACC Digital Network.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Pretty nice evening here in Winston-Salem as we're in the bottom of the 6th, and the visitors from Miami lead Wake Forest by a score of 5-0 right here on the ACC Digital Network. We remind you that nothing gives you daily live action and analysis of ACC sports like the ACC Digital Network. Missed your game, want to share that amazing play, or relive that must-see moment? Your team's highlights are available online, mobile, and tablet. All of the ACC Digital Network brought to you by the good folks from Ruby Tuesday. Visit the ACCDN.com, where you are watching right now at Gene Hooks Field, Wake Forest Baseball Park. As the Demon Deacons trying to get something going here. Grant Chambly, who's got a .372 batting average, single to right field in the third, and he'll step in against an ultra-effective Chris Diaz, who has looked every bit as advertised, Scott.
Yeah, he's been keeping the ball down, sinking it quite a bit, and has induced a lot of ground balls. Lived around the plate, and you haven't seen him make too many mistakes up in the zone, and those are the balls that get hit hard.
Diaz coming in with that 1.42 ERA on the radar for the all-ACC teams, and also national recognition, that ERA, one of the better ones. And here's Chambly again. He could get there. Tough play in shortstop. The diving play there from the shortstop, Brandon Lopez. But all Chambly does, he doesn't start a lot, is just hit the baseball, found the right spot, and again, Wake Forest with a leadoff hit.
Yeah, he pulls this one into the hole. Great play by Lopez just to get to it, but Chambly's way too fast to even have a chance to throw him out. But again, Chambly's aboard, leadoff hitter aboard. Let's see if Wake Forest can take advantage.
Give Brandon Lopez credit, though, for stretching out, making that play, and nice look there at Lopez, the fine shortstop for Miami, which has had a few good shortstops in their day.
Yeah, they've done okay. They've done all right. But now this is a good chance for Wake Forest to climb back into the game, because you have Evan Stevens, a leadoff hitter aboard, who's trying to bunt for the base hit, but you have a runner at first, which means there's a hole between first and second. And normally you don't want to roll over a ball, but for a lefty, you can do so. Now Coach Walters coming down and talk to Stevens, saying, hey, that's enough. Let's hit our way back into this game. We're not going to bunt our way back into the game, is what I can gather from that encouraging pep talk. So He wants Stevens to swing the bat and drive it through that hole on the right side.
Why not? 374 batting average. Of course, he did ground into a double play in the third, and that can weigh on you a little bit, but not a player like Stevens, who is really super smart kid, academic all-district, near a 3.8 GPA. That's how Scott did it at Arkansas, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. You know, at the Harvard of the South, University of Arkansas.
Well
getting
said.
it done. But Stevens a good kid in the classroom, and he's getting it done on the field this year, too, with that high average. Gotten a lot of hits, leading the team with 65 hits. He's looking for another one here. Takes that pitch down and in, and now works himself back to an even count.
Boy, 2-2 from the leadoff hitter. Took a close one, but got the call. Chambly. About a 4-step lead. Diaz takes a look at him. Diaz to the plate, and Stevens with a swing and a miss. So rough afternoon now for the leadoff hitter, who's really had a great season. But with a runner on first, your leadoff hitter needs to make contact.
Well, he's trying to make contact, but it's going to be hard on a good breaking ball like this because it starts out waist high and then just disappears. It's good downward action from Diaz, and tough pitch to make contact with, and it's a good put-away pitch. Credit Diaz. Tough break for Stevens.
Only 13 earned runs for Diaz. Actually got some support in his last out in a 12-3 win over St. John's, and Diaz loved that. He's played a lot of one-run games either way, up or down. They'll say that Mark Ryan did not go around. He struck out his last time up, 0 for 2. Miami on top of Wake Forest. Delighted you're with us here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday. We'll be here tomorrow at 4 o'clock as well for Game 2.
Diaz really taking care of the runner at first base, throws over a lot to try to neutralize the running game. That's one of the things he takes pride in, but it seems like he really bears down when a runner gets on. Look no further than the 3 double plays he's already induced so far in this game from the Deacons.
Tomorrow, Austin Stadler, 5-3 with a 3.57 ERA. And then for Miami, another left-handed pitcher, Brian Rzuski, the junior, is 6-1. How about this, with a .97 ERA?
Yeah, you thought 1.42 was good, then you go right down to the .97. A lefty who cannot throw the ball straight is Rzuski, and he's going to be on the hill tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see some junk. Outside, nice take by Ryan. Struck out his last time up.
And all 3 starting pitchers for Miami this weekend will be from the left side.
Yeah, Coach Walter, though, likes his right-handed lineup, though, so he wasn't too worried about that. They need to start producing some runs, though.
Yeah, he wasn't worried about that because he knew he had a right-handed, strong-hitting lineup. But Diaz has neutralized him so far.
Indeed. 5-0 Miami. Dean Linke along with Scott Pose. Ryan, second baseman. Tailor-made double play, especially for an efficient infield with Lopez to Hernandez. And after 6 innings of play here from the Wake Forest Baseball Park, it's Miami 5 and Wake Forest 0. You're seeing it all right here on the ACC Digital Network.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Miami with 3 in the first, 2 in the third on 9 hits. They have 5 runs. The home team, Wake Forest, with 0 as we start the top of the 7th here in Winston-Salem. The NBA draft is a little more than a month away, so get geared up now by checking out the ACCDN.com to look back at some of the must-see moments by future NBA stars. Full draft coverage of the ACC and the pros on the ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Ricky Eusebio, 2 strikeouts. Thought about bunting that first pitch. He's batting .228, and he'll lead it off for Jim Morris's Miami Hurricanes with that comfortable 5-0 lead in the 7th, as this game moving along at a rapid pace here from Winston-Salem.
Van Grau throws a quality strike in there to even the count 1-1. It was fastball about 86 miles an hour on the outer half. Eusebio tries to bunt for the base hit, but fouls it straight back. Rarely do you see a team up 5 runs try to bunt for a base hit, but you got a hitter at the bottom of the order. That's part of his game. He's had a tough go of it so far with a couple of strikeouts, trying to get on any way he can.
That one will bounce in the dirt a good 3-4 feet in front for Van Grau, who's working his way up now to 83 pitches in the college game. Pitch count, what are you looking for there, Scott?
Well, normally in a professional game, you're looking at about 100 pitches and they come out. But what's interesting about college is pitchers aren't on a 5-day rotation. It's once a week. And so they can be stretched out longer, especially later in the season. And some coaches say it's your game, you're going to go, and really I'm going to start worrying about pitch 130 because you got 6 other days to recover. And it's different program to program. But the century mark really is the mark that everybody starts to pay attention. And then most college coaches won't go by the pitch count. They'll look at what hitters are doing because they'll say the ball doesn't lie. If you're getting a lot of ground balls, the guy's got good stuff, he's staying out there. But if there's line drives flying all over the ballpark, that tells you something, and that's a time to make a change.
And after 2 strikeouts, Ricky Eusebio with a great at-bat, able to fight off Van Grau and lead-off walk, which will make way for the leadoff hitter, Tyler Palmer. And Palmer with a single in the first, scored a run, single in the third to left, scored a run. He flew out his last at bat, 2 for 3 on the evening, 265 for the season. Up high. Miami likes this 5-0 lead. As we mentioned, that 12-3 win over St. John's. They played so many tight ball games. Jim Morris telling me before the game, he's obviously added some gray hairs, those tight ball games. They manufactured runs without the long ball and getting it done a little different way. As you know, Scott, the old Earl Weaver 3-run homer thing will work as well, but Miami's had to do it a little differently this year.
Yeah, they're not going to rely on that. Just with the change in the bats, the ball doesn't fly as far, and just the nature of the team. He's got some speed, guys that can make contact, so you make that adjustment and manufacture runs and push them around more like the Go-Go Sox, the White Sox way back when, than the Orioles. Van Grau is now around 87 pitches, and it looks like Nate Jones is getting loose in the Wake Forest bullpen.
Runner goes. Eusebio with a pretty good jump. Head first slide and safe on the turf. So Miami with no outs, still second, Eusebio.
Well, he did get a good jump, did Eusebio, and takes off. Armour tries to get rid of the ball as quickly as he can, but the throw's up a bit and towards the second base side of the bag. Too late before Canary can get the tag down, and Miami has a runner at second and nobody out.
Palmer, 2 hits already. Got one in the gap by the shortstop. And Alsabio to third. Runners at first and third. No outs for Miami with a 5-0 lead. Looking to add to it here in the top of the 7th.
It is a base hit. Gets through the left side of the infield, but I'm sure Coach Morris and Palmer would have liked to see that to the right side because that's how you execute. If it's hit in front of the runner and the shortstop makes the play, he can't advance. The Hurricanes are fortunate there and have runners at first and third. Coach Walters coming out, and I think that's going to end Justin Van Grau's day. But what I'm trying to say is, in a tight ball game, Coach Morris knows that he'd like to see that ground ball to the right side. He's glad it got through here, and it's the base hit. And it goes as the 10th hit for Miami so far today. Van Grau will have scattered 10 hits in 6+ innings for his day's work. It's a righty that's warming up in the pen. It is number 42, Nate Jones, who's going to come in and try to stem this rally that Miami is putting together in the 7th. First 2 runners have reached. Alsabio with a walk and a stolen base. Palmer has just singled him to third base. Runners at first and third, nobody out. That flipped the order over because Palmer's a leadoff hitter, and now the heart of the Miami order is coming up. Alex Hernandez is stepping in the box. He's currently 0 for 3 on the day, but behind him is Chance Mack. We've talked a little bit about him today. He's been the leading hitter average-wise, and he's already got 3 hits, 1 off the wall here today. He's on deck right now. Alex Hernandez is going to be charged with trying to move the runners over. And speaking of being in charge, here's Nate Jones, who comes into this situation with runners at first and third.
He's a junior right-hander, 5'10", 180 from Greenland, New Hampshire. And Jones with a 6.09 ERA, 2-1 record. As Palmer with that last base hit, it was his first 3-hit game of the season, and his 3 hits ties a career high for Palmer. Jones, 18 appearances on the year. He's got 2 saves, 34 innings pitched, 23 earned runs, 16 walks, 22 strikeouts.
Well, he'll throw a fastball and a curveball as his out pitch. He tries to get that big break on it and get it breaking down. He's going to face the Canes' number 2 hitter, Alex Hernandez.
Hernandez grounded out in the first inning, flew out to left field in the third, and grounded out to the third baseman in the 6th. So 0 for 3 for Hernandez, 278's, got 1 home run, 27 RBIs. And with no outs, Miami has runners in first and third, and as Scott Post said, the meat of the order coming up, including the big man, Chance Mack, who is on deck.
Well, they're asking if that was a balk. In Major Leagues, that is a balk now, but in college, the rule hasn't changed. The first to third move, that is what I was talking about. Jones came in right away, bluffed towards third, which means he's stepping off the rubber and then picks back to first base. Major Leagues have changed their rule this year, and that's no longer allowed. That's considered a balk, Major League rule-wise, but not in college. He stepped towards third and then spun and threw towards first. It's in a way to attempt to deceive the runner at first to induce them to steal or at least catch him off.
0-1 pitch to Hernandez. Jones, this one rocked into right center. Hernandez going for 2 and an RBI. It's 6-0 now. Miami with Chance Mack, 3 for 3 on the evening. Coming in, a great hit from Hernandez off Jones.
It was a breaking ball that hung up in the zone, and if you throw it around a right-hander's eyes, and the ball hangs in there and spins like a cement mixer, he's going to get the bat extended and drive it. Hernandez does just that. He hits it into right center, and Carey has to run it down and throw it in. Eusebio is tagging on the play because if it's caught, he's going to score, and he scores easily. Now runners are at second and third with Miami's hottest hitter, who's already got 3 hits on the night.
Max last time up hit one off the wall in the right field. Thought about going to second, though quickly played right back in, though, by Jack Carey and almost got picked off at first.
And all Mack has to do is hit a ground ball to the right side, and he has an RBI. Anything gets through is a bonus.
Miami with a 29-6 advantage in this series dating back to 1987. Wake Forest did defeat Miami 7-2 last season, but the Hurricanes took 2 of 3 in Coral Gables for the series win. And then also beat the Deacs 6-3 in the ACC tournament last year as well. Mack 3 for 3.
2-2 count. Fouled that one straight back. Had a good cut at it, but just enough break where he couldn't make solid contact.
Mack had the swagger of a 300 hitter before the game. You could, as you know, Scott is a longtime baseball player, including in the major leagues. When the bat's going for you, you just got a different confidence no matter what you're doing. Even eating lunch, you feel a little better.
Oh, yeah, you do. I mean, hitting breeds confidence, and you feel better. The ball looks bigger, and it's just that much more fun to come to the ballpark. He finds himself after a good off-speed pitch. Now with 2 strikes, he chokes up on the bat and is going to shorten his swing to try to make contact. Jones is going to try that breaking ball, I think.
Big pitch for Jones to the first baseman. Jones will get over, and he'll get the out, but an RBI for Mack, who now 3 for 4, but another RBI for Chance Mack. And Miami now on top as the visitors 7-0.
And with runners at second and third, all the lefty has to do to hit it to the right side, and that's ideal, the most productive out that you can have, because it drives the run in, also moves the runner from second to third, and that's precisely what happened. Hernandez is at third base now. With that ground ball to first, credit Conway for making the play. Now Wake Forest brings their infield in because they can ill afford to let any more runs cross, down 7-0. With less than 2 out in the infield in, that increases the chances for a ball to get through. But what Coach Walter's hoping is there's a ground ball right at one of his fielders like this.
They'll go home with it. And caught in a rundown is Hernandez. And a big-time play from Blair gets this thing started. Now Hernandez will go down. Runner could be out at second as well. And on the slide he is. The double play the untraditional way. And Wake Forest will get out of the inning. And all of that started by the shortstop, Pat Blair.
Well, this is the infield playing in. This is what you're hoping for. It's a ground ball to the shortstop, who is 6. He throws it to the catcher. And then that went back to the pitcher, and he tried to then throw it to second base, which he does. The putout goes 6-2, which was the catcher, through to the pitcher 1, who was running the runner back, who was Alex Hernandez, tags him, then he turns and deals to second base.
And a nice tag by Connor Canary as well. This all starts with Blair playing in, Coach Walter with the infield in.
Ground ball to him, and he throws home to Armour. And then Armour starts to run Hernandez back, goes for the tag, doesn't get it, so he throws to his pitcher, Jones. Jones comes and finally puts the tag on him, but then he sees the runner breaking, who was Feger, trying to get to second base. He's not able to get there. The tag is down. Canary makes the tag. Jones made the good throw. And as a result, the play goes 6-2-1-4, an unconventional double play, but a double play nonetheless.
Boy, that was tight at second, but a great tag by Canary and a nice throw by Jones, the pitcher, who has not pitched a ton of innings. I thought came in and really had a good duel with Chance Mack, getting Mack, who has been on fire, to make that out at first base, and then gets out of the inning, only giving up 2 runs. Both runs, though, will go to Van Grauw. So 7-0 now. Miami with 11 hits, and Wake Forest with 4. As you're watching the ACC Digital Network presented by Ruby Tuesday, Dean Linke along with Scott Pose, delighted to be with you here from Gene Hooks Field, home to the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And Pat Blair, who started that double play, single to center field in the first. He walked his last time up, 1 for 1 on the evening, 295 on the season. The veteran shortstop with 3 home runs.
Blair's had a good night so far. Just he has the walk and the base hit. Steps in the box, finding his team down 7-0 now. And there's looks to be that home plate umpire Scott Klein didn't like what he was hearing as an issue of warning and is writing it down. Not sure where that came from. But if the ball was called a strike, one would guess that it's somebody in the Wake Forest side of things.
Now 2 strikes on Blair. As Diaz, just with 79 pitches, 48 of them strikes, and another 88-mile-per-hour fastball, marched by another 88-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 1-2 on Blair. 7-0 Miami.
Miami making some wholesale changes that inning. Dale Carey comes into the game and goes to center field. El Sabio is going to move from center to left. Means Tyler Palmer's night is done. And then Chris Barr comes in for Brad Feger to play first base.
Out to right field, but handled by Mack.
Not a bad at bat by Blair. He got a breaking ball up in the zone, tried to drive it the other way, hits it on a line, but fortunately there's been a man standing out there for about 170 years in right field. And today it's Chance Mack who ranges over and makes the play. It's a breaking ball up. Blair kept his nose on the ball, drives it to right field. Not a bad at bat, but hits it right at Mack.
Here's Matt Conway, broke his kneecap the second game of the last season and missed the rest of the years. He singles up the middle on a first pitch from Diaz. So Wake Forest trying to get something going, down 7 runs with a runner on first and 1 out.
It's a pitch down, and Conway drives one right back through Diaz as he tries to wheel around and make the play, but that's a good piece of hitting, getting the pitch out over the plate, driving it up the middle, and now Wake Forest has a runner on.
Charlie Morgan. Walked in the second, struck out his last time out in the fourth. Ball low, 1-0. "17 RBIs for Morgan, 2 home runs. Caught the outside corner, 1-1.
It's a breaking ball that just misses, and Diaz is just trying to expand the zone just a bit. It's a good take by Morgan. That's a tough pitch to make contact with.
Diaz will try to finish, but they've got one of the best closers in the game waiting, Eric Nedeljkovic, who can absolutely shut it down. Nedeljkovic. Ooh, good pitch from Diaz.
Fastball well spotted on the black, meaning just off the plate or on it. Catches the edge at the knees. It's a pitcher's pitch, and Charlie Morgan finds himself now with 2 strikes.
Miami's already turned 3 double plays. 4 double plays. Good call, Scott Pose. 4 double plays for Miami. Morgan rips it center field. Base hit for Charlie Morgan. Runners at first and second for Wake Forest. As coming to the plate is Jack Carey.
It's a great cut by Charlie Morgan and a good at bat. He's got 2 strikes, gets a fastball away and up a bit, so he's able to hit the line drive into center field. It's a good piece of hitting and the second hit in the inning for the Deacons.
So here's Jack Carey. Grounded in a double play in the second and grounded out to the third baseman in the sixth. He's 0 for 2. 254 on the season with 6 home runs, and a 3-run homer would do Wake Forest well with just 3 more cracks at Miami.
Yeah, any run would do Wake Forest well now just to get some momentum going, as well as Diaz has thrown. Kennedy had to go out and talk to him about the signs changing with a runner at second, but also about the importance of getting ahead of the hitters. And now Wake Forest is in business with Carey at the plate, He's looking for a pitch that he can drive.
1-0 pitch. Third baseman mishandles it. Now the bases are loaded, and Carey made something happen. It was a tough play for sure for David Thompson, but Thompson probably would do better with it the next time, but nonetheless, bases loaded now for Wake Forest.
Well, this ball was rolled over, and a third baseman's taught to get anything they can to their left. But Thompson gets over to the ball and fields it, but then has trouble getting it out of his glove. That's going to bring pitching coach J.D. Arteaga out to the mound to talk to his pitchers. We saw Thompson not able to make the play, so that's going to go as an error, E5 on Thompson, and load the bases for the Demon Deacons.
With just one out, bases are loaded for Brett Armour, who doubled to left field in the second inning, grounded out his last time up. Of course, several of the Miami coaches you've known for quite some time as well, Scott.
Well, J.D. Arteaga, the pitching coach, has been there for 11 years. He was a teammate of mine way back when in the old days when we played in AAA at New Orleans. At that time, it was an Astros AAA team. Tony Pena was our manager. Here I am name dropping, but guy's now the former Major League manager and the bench coach for the New York Yankees.
Bases loaded for Armour.
But Armour's at the plate, and this is what he wants to do here is extend the inning. He's got a big hole between first and second, but drive it and keep the merry-go-round going. This is a time when a home run would be a rally killer. You'd like to see Wake Forest, if you're them, string a few hits together and keep it going.
This one over the third baseman. Thompson gets just a piece of it, as you could feel it bouncing above him, and it's a base hit RBI for Armour, and Wake Forest is on the board. The ribby for Wake, and it's now 7-1.
That's going to be ruled an earned run. So that ball was the Baltimore chop, a ball that hit hard on the ground, bounded up high enough that Thompson could not get to it. It's going to allow the first run to score for Wake Forest. The bases will stay loaded. And it looks like Coach Walter has come to the plate and is calling for a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitter is number 8, Kevin Conway.
So Kevin Conway will now come in and bat for the second baseman, Connor Canary. As Kevin Conway comes in with 2 home runs. Of course, the brother of Matt, batting 194, 15 RBIs. Also from Birmingham, Michigan. So against the left-hander Diaz. Kevin Conway with the bases loaded and just 1 out for Wake Forest after getting the first run of the evening. They trail 7-1, looking for more. You're watching the ACC Digital Network presented by Ruby Tuesday. The pitch from Diaz down low.
In the Miami bullpen, right-hander Eric Whaley has started to throw. Diaz at 94 pitches, getting close to that century mark.
Kennedy will have a chat with Diaz.
They're not able to get together on the sign, and always best to call timeout and remove all doubt when the pitcher and catcher can't get together, because the last thing they can afford to do is have a cross-up here. Wake Forest wouldn't mind it one bit. The ball got by the catcher. That's a free run.
Good rip by Conway, but dropped just a little bit, and 1-1 now. Big opportunity for Kevin Conway. Bases loaded, 1 out for Wake Forest. Bottom of the 7th, they've got 1. A swing and a miss, played down to first and tagged out. A wonderful play by Kennedy and a solid tag right there by Chris Barr, who just came in to first base, as Scott Poyles pointed out, and a big out.
Well, you don't see a catcher get caught off the bases that often, and Brett Armour is down there. He knows that he likes to pick as well, but credit Kennedy on the swing and miss with the quick snap throw to first base. Kennedy comes up, avoids the backswing from Conway, and throws a perfect strike down to Barr at first base. Low throw, so it's easy to put the tag on, and it's right there to get Armour in time. And I believe the umpire got it correctly, but John Walter is going to come across and talk, at least have a chat with first place umpire Jason Bradley about the play.
From that angle, I'll tell you, they teach the first baseman on that play to also shield the base just a little bit, so it makes it a little bit tougher for the runner to get back, and I thought Barr did a real nice job doing that.
Well, he did do that, and then he also had a good throw to deal with it, because when they throw it right down so you can just drop it to tag, then that makes a big difference.
He's fiery when he needs to be, as we all know. Head coach Tom Walter. Respectable 102, 1-15 record coming in here now. 4th year. Overall, 528 and 443 for Coach Tom Walter. Considering himself a Pennsylvania boy.
It's a breaking ball that's up, and the first sign that Diaz may be tiring, because it does not have the bite that it did earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, we've seen a couple breaking balls from Diaz just have the bottom drop off and get some good breaking ball strikeouts in this one.
And we've seen the game slow down from a pace standpoint too, because the pitcher and catcher can't get together on the signs, and that's also a sign of fatigue as well.
Yeah, well said, Scott. This game was just chugging along at a rapid pace here, but now Wake Forest trying to get something going. Unfortunately, had a player picked off at first, and now a tough at bat for Kevin Conway, who has words for Kennedy as well, as he's tagged out, and 2 runners stranded, 1 run in. It's Miami 7, Wake Forest 1, right here on the ACC Digital Network, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows Phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Never give up, never give in. That's got to be the motto for Wake Forest for sure, as they really need to sweep Miami if they want to try to eke into the ACC tournament coming up in Durham in just a couple of weeks. But it's Miami on top 7-1. Wake Forest got 1 back in the last inning but left 2 stranded. A reminder that the ACC Digital Network is fully interactive. Follow us on Twitter at the ACCDN.com, but they'll look back to that inning, look back to several innings with the 4 double plays, but that inning right there, the bottom of the 7th, bases loaded, 1 out, and they only get 1 run out of it.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. You want to take advantage of the base runners when you get them, because they've been at a premium and few and far between for the Deacons, because Diaz has thrown so well. But what happens is a runner gets picked off on the back pick at first base. That's the 2nd out, and then they can't make contact at the plate. That'll kill a rally as quick as anything.
Thompson unloaded for a 2-run homer in the top of the 1st inning to give Miami that early 3-0 lead, and they have not looked back. He's got 3 RBIs on the night. It's his 4th career 3 RBI game. He's now batting .273 with his 4th home run of the 2013 season. 1-1 now for Thompson against Nate Jones, who came in and got him out of that trouble the last inning. And Jones makes An easy play over the big, tall first baseman, Matt Conway, 1 out.
Yeah, well, Jones threw a good pitch there, but then was in a great fielding position after he delivered the pitch. Throws a breaking ball that spun a bit, but it jammed Thompson, and then Jones shows some good ability to move to his left, make the play, and then gets his momentum going to first base with the underhand toss.
Here's Kennedy with that big play at the plate. Now gets to come off of that as a catcher. You make a big play, you come up to bat, a little more pep in the step, a little more juice in the bat. We'll see what he can do. Kennedy 0 for 3 on the evening, batting .258, flew out to center in the first, struck out in the third, and flew out to center in the sixth.
The left-handed hitting catcher can play some defense. We saw that last inning with that good throw.
Hit sharply, though, to the second baseman, and it's now Andrew Williams who comes in after Kevin Conway replaced Canary, and Williams with the play.
Kennedy got a pitch up in the zone, was looking for a fastball, got it, but then rolled over it just a bit, hits a hard ground ball to the second baseman, but the play is made. Looks like it's going to be, it looks like Joe Napolitano made the play, who's now in at second base, and Miami's going to pinch hit as Jim Morris comes to the plate and is talking to home plate umpire Scott Klein about who's coming to the plate now. Andrew Williams is in second base. Excuse me, Andrew Williams.
So Alex San Juan is due up, but Coach Jim Morris will make a change as Robert Gonzalez will get a chance to take a few swings against Mr. Jones. Miami on top of 7-1. That'll bring up Gonzalez. So against the right-hander Jones, Gonzalez with a first pitch swing, fouled.
Not a bad idea if you're a pinch hitter just coming in off the bench to clear those cobwebs and get everything ready to take that first hack and get your adrenaline going right into the at-bat, because oftentimes that first pitch is going to be the best one that you see.
Gonzalez had batted just 23 times. He's got 8 hits on the season, a couple of doubles. Top of the 8th. Miami on top, 7-1. Jones.
Backdoor slider. That one means that it's a ball that starts off the plate to a left-handed hitter and then comes back and gets a corner, the outside corner at that.
Be interesting to see if Diaz will come out here for the bottom of the 8th. And with Gonzalez batting, they'll probably make the change here, Scott.
I think so. I think Diaz has thrown enough pitches for the night, and it looks like he's headed towards the bullpen, and we got the big right-hander coming in for Miami.
All right, we'll be back for more here from the Wake Forest Baseball Park with Miami leading 7-1 on the ACC Digital Network.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices. And each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals, under $15, starting at $9.99? That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Miami Miami up comfortably here on the road. The first of 3 here at Wake Forest. They lead the Demon Deacons by a score of 7-1. Chris Diaz will hit the showers, but it'll be another great start for Diaz. He's allowed just 2 earned runs, good for a .4 ERA in his last 6 starts. That's 44.1 innings dating back to April 5th versus FSU, but he'll make way now for Eric Whaley, who actually was a part of the rotation last year. He was the Saturday night guy. Whaley comes in here with a 2-1 record, a 5.67 ERA. Before you tell me about Whaley, though, as you look at him there, how about a tip of the hat to the young man Diaz?
Well, Diaz did a good job of minimizing damage, keeping the ball down, but then keeping the running game at bay, and then inducing all those double plays. You got defense behind him. He got the ground balls and pitched to his defense and threw really, really well. Gives Miami the 7-1 lead, and gives way to the big guy, Eric Whaley, who throws from a 3/4 arm slot and almost short arms the ball just a bit, but he can run it up there pretty quickly from that arm slot.
And he'll face Grant Chambly, who is having a really nice season. He's not played a ton of games, but he's batting .386 and 2 for 2 here on the day. 8 RBIs. High from Whaley.
It's going to be a little different look for those right-handed hitters from Wake Forest after seeing a steady diet of sinkers and sliders and breaking balls from Diaz from the left side. Get the ball coming right behind Whaley's ear. He's throwing about 90 miles an hour.
The Deeks looking for some more runs. They tied their season high run output at Elon on May 1 by beating the Phoenix 17-6, and Grant Chambly set a career high with 4 RBIs in that win. And Chambly, 2 for 2, will stay 2 for 2 as he'll walk to lead off against the reliever Whaley here in the bottom of the 8th. All right, Evan Stevens, here's your leadoff hitters. Having a great season. Rough day so far, though. 0 for 3, including a big strikeout his last time up. But now facing the right-hander.
Well, Miami electing to play behind the runner at first. Barr is behind. Means he's not holding the runner on in the traditional sense. He's playing behind for defense. But he's staying close enough to keep Chambly at first base and not getting a free jump.
Last pitch from Whaley, 90 miles per hour. Takes 20 miles off on that pitch.
That's his changeup. It looks like it could be a palm ball or at least a circle change, but that's some away action away from the lefty. But anytime you get that differential of 20 miles an hour, it makes it very hard on a hitter because you can't sit on one of those pitches. You either got to look fastball or guess changeup.
Bunt laid down by Stevens at play at second. He's safe. No, they'll say he's out. Boy, it looked like he was going to get there, but out at second. And Stevens not able to advance the runner. And Wake Forest has had great success getting that first runner on, but boy, they have had trouble after that.
Yeah, well, Stevens is trying to bunt. We've seen him bunt or make the attempt to bunt earlier in this ball game, but bunts it right back to the pitcher, and Whaley wheels and throws to second, but he gets the out. That's the important thing, and it was the correct call.
Oh, yeah, he was out by a good foot. What's your take on 7-1? You're down here in the bottom of the 8th, bunting as well with your leadoff hitter.
Well, that's part of his game, and I don't have a problem with it because it's going to take more than one hit to come back. So keep the merry-go-round going, but make it a good bunt. Don't bunt it right back to the pitcher, and Evan Stevens would like to have that one back, I'm sure.
Outside.
Because it's important for when you're bunting for a base hit.
Catcher throws it past Whaley. Sorry, Scott.
When you're bunting for a base hit, you either want to make it a base hit on the line or foul for that very reason. Because if you make a mistake middle in the field, it's an out and an unproductive one at that. So anytime you're bunting for a base hit, be aggressive and make it towards the line or foul is what hitters are taught.
Mark Ryan, 2-1. 0 for 3. One and two hitters, 0 for 7 on the day for Coach Walter. Ryan's got 3 home runs on the season. Bottom of the 8th, 7-1 Miami. Chris Diaz is done, no runs. He's not allowed a run in 44 innings, and Mark Ryan was on his way to first.
He thought it was ball 4, and then headed down, and home plate umpire didn't like that. Scott Clunn said, yeah, it's a strike. You got to come back.
Hit between the third baseman and the shortstop. Good at bat from Ryan. Now
Right.
first and second.
Ryan wanted to hit anyway. So he rolls over the ball and hits it between third and short. Prolongs the inning for the Demon Deacons. They got runners at first and second with 1 out. How he did it was got a sinking fastball in, but cut it off to drive it through the hole. Nobody's there. No play for Thompson or Lopez. And J.D. Arteaga is going to venture out from the dugout once again to have a conversation with his pitcher, Eric Whaley.
See what's going on in the bullpen as Pat Blair waits for the conference on the mound for Miami.
This isn't buying time for anybody. Nobody's warming up in the Miami bullpen. This is an instructional conversation.
Yeah, up 7-1. You just want to close it down and see if Whaley can do that. He'll have to do it against Pat Blair in his 4th season of being the starting shortstop for Wake Forest. Of the 217 Wake Forest baseball games since his freshman year, Blair has played in 213 of them and made 207 starts, including 86 consecutive games. And he is first all-time in career walks with 173, third all-time in career stolen bases, 4th all-time in doubles, and 8th in runs scored. That's a pretty good career.
That's a great career. He's their Iron Man. I mean, he's been here a long time, played in a lot of games, and contributed a lot to this program. And Coach Walter thinks a lot of him, and he should. He's the senior shortstop, anchor in the middle of the field for these Demon Deacons, and what a job he's done throughout his career here at Wake Forest.
Single to center in the first. Also has a walk and a fly out to right field. 1 for 2 on the evening. Blair digs in. Hitters count 2-0 here. Strike one, 87 miles per hour. You know the routine. He was drafted after his junior year, had the decision to make. Talk about that whole process.
Well, you've got a decision to make. You got to set a number, which is one that could be life-changing. Do you want to leave? And if you don't feel comfortable with it, you come back to school. You have that leverage as a junior, and then you got to figure if you're going to get drafted as a junior, you'll get drafted as a senior, and it's just each individual's decision or the family's decision. And seen a number of pitchers that have decided to forego the draft their junior year, come back for their senior year. You're going to get just as many pitches here in college as you are in the minor leagues.
What'd you do, Scott?
Oh, it wasn't a decision for me. I was a senior, was lucky to get drafted, and I win. I never got drafted before. I never really had to make that decision. That's what a lack of ability will do for you.
And don't let him fool you, folks. First at bat for the Florida Marlins. Had a great season with the Kansas City Royals. Played with the New York Yankees as well. And a good at bat from Blair as we're now bases loaded.
Yeah, with the walk, the conference didn't help. Blair lays off that outside pitch. It's going to load the bases once again for the Demon Deacons, the second time in 2 innings.
And that'll bring the big man up there, Matt Conway, who singled to center field his last at bat. All he's doing is batting .344 with 3 home runs, and he won't be up there looking for a home run. He'll be looking to drive it, but he does have that kind of power. And now Miami actually will get some action in the bullpen here. 1 out, bases loaded, 6-run lead. In the bullpen for Miami, number 16, A.J. Salcinas, with a 6.48 earned run average. If it gets any closer, though, Nedeljkovic could be up, one of the top closers in the game, not just the ACC, but the entire country. This one will go to the first base. Could it be a double play? Back over to the pitcher, and with bases loaded and 1 out, is that 5 double plays now that Wake Forest has hit into, and tough evening for Wake Forest as we will go to the top of the 9th twice in the last 2 innings. They leave runners stranded, this time 3. It's Miami 7, Wake Forest 1 on the ACC Digital Network.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our Create-Your-Own Garden Bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Miami's Jim Morris's team has turned 5 double plays, and in the last 2 innings able to get out of bases loaded jams, and they are on top as we head to the top of the 9th by a score of 7-1. And we'll have more baseball here from the beautiful Wake Forest Baseball Park tomorrow at 4 p.m. We've got game 2 of this series between Miami and Wake right here on the ACC Digital Network. See you tomorrow at 4 at ACCDN.com. Nate Jones has done a solid job replacing Van Grau here for Coach Tom Walters' Wake Forest Demon Deacons. But the offense not there. Well, I can't even say that. 8 hits for Wake Forest, but they have left a mountain full of players out there.
It's been tough, though, when you get runners on there and you're not taking advantage, because you have to against Miami, who throws the ball so well. They've got that pitching staff with a minuscule ERA. And anytime you get base runners, you need to take advantage. And Coach Walter was talking about that before the ball game.
Ooh, and this one ripped here by Lopez. Back and out. A home run for Lopez. Unloaded it and just snuck over. The first home run of the season for Brandon Lopez, and a big smile as well. And the bench is up over there for the Miami Hurricanes. Wasn't sure if they're going to head down the tunnel or not, but the first home run.
And why not? Why not smile? But it's a pitch out over the plate. It looked to be the hanging slider, and it was down and in. Normally you see a lefty liking that pitch down and in, but Lopez got extension and drives it just over the wall, over the outstretched arm of Chambly. It's a long ball, and it's going to add an insurance run for the Miami Hurricanes, and Lopez is all smiles in the dugout. Heck, I would be too.
8-1 for Miami, now on top of Wake Forest. Scott, they talk about, particularly in the majors, a guy who doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, and they hit a home run, and a lot of the teammates head up the tunnel. They're not even there when they come back. That's the fun of baseball, right?
Well, yeah, they'll give them the silent treatment. You know, they'll have that when you see that. But Jones comes back and induces the ground ball here from Eusebio. He hits it on the ground towards the shortstop, and we see the steady Pat Blair making the play and throwing it over to first base. But yeah, there's all kinds of hijinks when home runs happen, and you're in a good mood and everything works your way.
Here's Dale Carey now. We'll get an at bat. And Carey with a first pitch swing. This one also deep, but it'll be handled by the right fielder, Jack Carey. Jack Carey with Dale Carey hits it to Jack Carey.
Well, it's a pitch up in the zone, and Dale Carey hits the ball hard, but credit Carey for running the ball down in the right center gap.
Here's Alex Hernandez, 1 for 4. He doubled to right field his last time up in the 7th. Well, they are coming up here with an 8-1 lead, and on the first pitch, it's absolutely ripping it.
There's a line drive right at the shortstop, Blair. Alex Hernandez hits the ball hard, but it's going to go as a hard out.
But a big home run, though, for Brandon Lopez, his first of the 2013 season, and it's Miami 8, Wake Forest 1. We'll be back for the bottom of the 9th here at the Wake Forest Baseball Park.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Welcome to Ruby Tuesday, where we're cooking up over 15 chef-inspired selections for under $15, starting at just $9.99, creating something new for everyone. Delicious food at mouth-watering prices, and each comes with your choice of over a dozen fresh sides, including our create-your-own garden bar. They're dishes you won't find anywhere else, cooked just the way you want with our special toppings and unique sauces. Over 15 delicious meals under $15, starting at $9.99. That's right. Welcome to Ruby Tuesday.
Brandon Lopez, number 51, rated the 12th best freshman by Baseball America coming into it, was drafted by the Blue Jays, and he gets his first home run. He's still smiling about it for the Miami Hurricanes. And an 8-1 lead for Miami.
Oh, he's still grinning ear to ear, and why not? Because he got a hold of a pitch and drove it over the left field wall. But kids played a heck of a game, started a number of double plays for the Hurricanes tonight. They've only turned 5, and we've got a left-handed pitcher now in the game. A.J. Salcinas is coming in this game to replace Whaley, who went 1 inning.
New pitcher is 16, A.J. Salcinas.
And Salcinas is going to face Charlie Morgan. They're going to go lefty on lefty with a matchup here. Are the Canes versus the Demon Deacons, and the Deacons are going to have to do a lot of swinging to get back in this ball game down 7 runs.
And the lefty Salcinas at 88 miles per hour, his 23rd appearance. He's pitched 25 innings, 10 walks, 25 strikeouts, a 6.48 ERA.
And there are 2 schools of thought here. Is that a lot of coaches will think take a strike to get back into this ball game, and that's usually the case when it's 3 runs or less. But when you're down 7, go up swinging, because the only way you're going to climb back in is to hit your way back in it.
0-2 count to Morgan. Salcinos throwing smoke here. 89.
And at Division I, you'll see that to be about the average, 89 to 90. Friday night starters will throw low to mid-90s quite often. That's a pitch down in the zone. Morgan's going to take it for a ball. Now the count's even 2-2, and this is usually a breaking ball count.
Over the pitcher. He's got a chance. Third baseman comes forward, and he'll beat it out. A base hit, infield hit for Charlie Morgan, as closing quick there was David Thompson. But over the pitcher's head, and Morgan with another leadoff hit now for Wake Forest.
Oh, one of the things turf will do for you is create that hard service that you can get those bounces for. Credit Thompson for coming across and making the athletic attempt, but that ball was bounding too high, and Morgan made too good a contact with 2 strikes, and he gets the base hit.
All right, now Jack Carey reached on a fielder's choice. He's 0 for 3. Strike 1. Wake Forest has hit into 5 double plays and some inning killers as well. They continue to get their leadoff hitter on. They've done it again here in the bottom of the 9th, which is kind of the spirit of Tom Walter. Talked about giving his kidney as well to Mr. Jordan. Wake Forest never gives up. Anything's possible, but tough there as that was inside, but they'll call the strike on Carey.
Salcidas throws a fastball inside, a hard fastball, and freezes the right-handed hitter. It's enough velocity to keep him honest and hits his spot, and a good frame by Kennedy, and it's going to go as a strike 3.
I'll bring up Brett Armour. He singled. Infield hit his last time up. He's also got a double, so 2 for 3 for Armour. He juices his average up to 271. 3 home runs, 1 out, man on first, bottom of the 9th. It's 8-1 Miami.
And with that big lead, Barr at first base is playing behind the runner at first base. Charlie Morgan's not necessarily going to steal 7 runs down. That's part of the code, whether you're 7 runs up or 7 runs down. There's no steals unless you're trying to stay out of the double play, but
Armour, the base hit. Could try to stretch it into 2. He will. Headed for second. Runners now at second and third, and the fans here at the Wake Forest Baseball Park, something to cheer about in the bottom of the 9th yet again. And for the 3rd consecutive inning, they've got multiple runners in scoring position.
it's a pitch down and in, a fastball down and in, and Armour drives it down the line for his 2nd double of the night, 3rd hit of the night. And there's life for Wake Forest now. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. They're still down 7, but it's got to start somewhere. Andrew Williams is going to hit for the first time tonight.
Playing second base.
Came in the 7th. After Kevin Conway hit for Connor Canary.
Andrew Williams from the home of the Masters, Augusta, Georgia. Batting .262 on the season. I want to thank Stephen Wright, the fine SID for Wake Forest. As well as Cameron Gorby, who has the same position for Miami. For all their good work.
It's a good downward breaking ball from Salcinas. He threw it on that count, 1-1 count to get the swing through from Andrew Williams.
2nd and 3rd, 1-2 count. Salcinas outside.
Tried it again, and that's the old adage in baseball. If you see a hitter have trouble with the pitch, keep throwing it until they prove they can make the adjustment. Salcinas was going to see if Williams was going to offer. He lays off, and now the count is even with runners at 2nd and 3rd for the Deacons.
Ooh, up high. Williams gets a piece of it.
Fastball up and in. Nice job by Williams to get a piece of that. One thing a fastball up and in does is set up the breaking ball away, and we've already seen a couple good ones from Salcinas. So you got to protect the outside part of the plate if you're Andrew Williams.
Williams to the second baseman. It will be an RBI, though, as Wake Forest adds its 2nd run, and it's 8-2 Miami.
Ground out 4-3, he gets an RBI on the play.
RBI for Williams.
Well, it was a good at bat by Williams. He hung around to get a pitch. It was a breaking ball, but he rolled over it, hit the ground ball to second base. Is going to get an RBI, and that advances the runner to 3rd base Armour is going to get there as Morgan scores, but Hernandez makes the play and throws it over to Barr for the out.
So down to the final out. Trying to close it out, number 16, A.J. Salcinas. And it's Grant Chambly, 2 for 2, batting .386. 2 singles and a walk his last time up. This one inside. And Chambly steps away. We'll be back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock for game 2 of 3. Invite you back here to join us on the ACC Digital Network.
Chambly fouls another fastball up in the zone, straight back. Chambly has not been retired all night. He's seeing the ball well, fouls that fastball straight back, and now finds himself down on the count 1-2.
Miami, 1 strike away from going to 12-13 in the ACC. And that one on the outside corner, Chambly.
Changeup on the outside corner that doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Scott Klein, but it's his spot. A good job by Chambly to lay off that pitch, and he may see a better one here.
To the shortstop, all the way across, and Chambly now 3 for 3 and an RBI for Wake Forest. They are not done, and you hear the bell chiming again. The 3rd run here now for Wake Forest as they keep it alive. And Evan Stevens, now he is due, the leadoff hitter for Wake Forest.
Yogi said it best, it ain't over till it's over. Evan Stevens is coming to the plate to try to keep it going. He's 0 for 4 on the night so far, but credit Chambly for the 3 hits and getting the RBI. And now Wake Forest has climbed within 5. Now we talked about Lopez's home run, but now it's a big home run because if he doesn't hit it, Wake Forest is in the slam zone, meaning one swing of the bat could tie the game. But since Miami added that insurance run, the deficit is still 5.
Stevens has paced the Deacs to the top of the order, came in batting .378. He's 0 for 4 though on the evening, having a good at bat here now. 2-1.
He's worked himself into a hitter's count.
58 of his 65 hits have been singles. Does have a couple triples. Outside corner, pay to the line. Another good frame by Kennedy, and now we're 2-2. And once again, Miami 1 strike away from being just 1 game under 500 in the ACC and looking a lot better to secure one of those 8 spots in the ACC tournament. Fought off by Stevens, the leadoff hitter. Lefty on lefty. Outside, and an easy steal for Wake Forest. Now man on second, 8-3. Wake Forest not quite in that slam zone as you slam zone as you said. Better than me.
But yeah, it's a stolen base. It's going to go as a runner at second base, and Stevens works the walk. And now Mark Ryan is going to come to the plate.
Ryan, who had a great at bat his last time up, single to left field. Impressive batting average, .272. He's got 3 home runs, 24 RBIs, 34 runs. Three straight years, the third baseman has been part of the starting lineup. Not a big guy, 180 pounds, works hard at the game, though.
And Kennedy sensing that Salcinas is getting a little frustrated, so he's going to go out and talk to his pitcher, just calm him down, also to make sure he knows the signs. But this is mainly a pep talk visit, as Miami gets some action going in the bullpen.
Mark Ryan, one of those players that Coach Walters said he's definitely going to miss after this season. Describes him as a leader, vocally, not flashy, the kind of player a lot of coaches like. He'll get under this one. It's a high fly ball. And settling under it there is Ricky Eusebio. And Miami comes into Winston-Salem. And they get a win here in game one by a score of 8-3.
Well, Miami comes out on top in this game, takes advantage of some great pitching from Diaz, who threw a quality start, 7 innings. He only gave up 2 runs. And then Miami was able to push some runs across, in part because of the great night from their third baseman, Thompson, who had a single and a home run to go with that. He drove in a couple of runs. Tyler Palmer had 3 hits out of the top of the order. And Brandon Lopez hits his first home run of the year. You get that offensive production plus the good pitching, starting pitching that they got from Chris Diaz, and that's going to be a recipe for a victory. And the Canes come away with it, much to the dismay of the Demon Deacons.
So with 12 hits and 8 runs versus 11 hits and 3 runs, it's Miami 8 and Wake Forest 3. I want to thank our coordinating producer, Andy Siegel, our producer director, Kelly Hedelson, Carl Schur, and the entire crew from the ACC Digital Network. My broadcast partner, the good man, Scott Pose. I'm Dean Linke. We'll see you here tomorrow at 4 o'clock for another ACC tilt between Miami and Wake Forest. Your final score from Winston-Salem, Miami 8, Wake Forest 3. You saw it all right here on the ACC Digital Network.